Today on The Nick DeLeon Show.
The United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen, Jamal Benomar, has warned that the country is on the brink of civil war. Police near Amsterdam had an easy time of zeroing in on a suspected marijuana grow house. It is the only one on the block whose roof is clear of snow.
And Octavia will extend its snowy and icy tentacles across the Appalachians and into parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And guess who? New England!
Green Bay Packers head coach Mike McCarthy, who is called the offensive plays, has handed those duties to Tom Clements.
Hey, this is the Nick DeLeon Show. We have all kinds of stuff to discuss on today's program. Don't you even think about clicking that mouse anywhere else, so stay tuned.
I know you're lying, 'cause your lips are moving. Tell me, do you think I'm dumb? I might be young, but I ain't stupid. Talking round in circles with your tongue, I gave you base. You gave me...
The United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen, Jamal Benomar, has warned that the country is on the brink of civil war and accused all sides of contributing to the political and economic turmoil. Yemen is slipping further into chaos as the Houthis, an Iranian-backed Shiite Muslim militia from the north, consolidate their grip on power after seizing the capital in September and sidelining the central government. The fighters have been advancing into southern territories, confronting Sunni Muslim tribesmen, other groups, and the local branch of Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda-affiliated fighters seized an army base in northern Yemen and held soldiers prisoner on Thursday. The United States, Britain, and France have closed their embassies in Sana'a, citing security concerns. Benomar said Yemen's economy is facing imminent collapse and called for more dialogue to reach a peaceful settlement. They are all party to what has happened so far. They have all made mistakes and follies, and sometimes groups resorted to violence to realize political aims, the envoy said. Yemen, which borders top oil exporter Saudi Arabia, is home to Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, one of the global network's most active arms that has carried out attacks abroad. The director of the FBI said on Thursday that law enforcement officers may develop a cynicism that may lead them to treat minorities unfairly and acknowledge the need for a debate about race and policing. FBI Director James Comey, in a speech on race in law enforcement delivered at Georgetown University, said that throughout American history, law enforcement has enforced a status quo that is often brutally unfair to disfavored groups. Citing the song "Everyone's a Little Bit Racist" from the Broadway musical Avenue Q, he said that many in America's white majority culture have unconscious racial biases and react differently to a white face than a black face. The speech appears to be the first time that a director of the FBI has so directly addressed the way that race influences law enforcement. Comey said that decades ago, his Irish ancestors likely faced their own problems with discrimination, but said that little compares to the experience in our soil of black Americans. While Comey heaped praise upon the nation's law enforcement officers, he also said he was not looking in to let law enforcement off the hook, as he called for an open and honest discussion about the role that race can play in the justice system. The FBI director also said that the federal government needed to do a better job tracking the number of deaths accused by federal law enforcement. Comey said his staff had been unable to determine the number of people shot by police in protests in Ferguson, Missouri, that followed the death of Michael Brown in August. Having more information about what is happening in law enforcement across the country, Comey said, is the first step towards addressing the problems. The speech by Comey, a white Republican, served in the George W. Bush administration and donated the presidential campaigns of John McCain and Mitt Romney, did not immediately inspire the types of political backlash that Attorney General Eric Holder and President Obama have sometimes faced when they have spoken in the contentious issues of race in law enforcement. Comey also spoke about the need to diversify the ranks of his own agency, saying that the FBI is currently overwhelmingly white and male. He also said that one of his proudest moments as an FBI director was sending agents to Ferguson to investigate Brown's death, saying it was a priceless gift, that the agents were trusted by the members of the community. The Justice Department has not expected to pursue civil rights charges against former Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson for Brown's death, but the decision has not been officially announced.
Now time for our commercial break.
just watch. Bring in your Verizon or AT&T bill, turn in your old phone, and we'll cut your rate plan in half. Visit us online or visit a Sprint store today.
The saga begins. Begin war.
It is now time for our fourth installment of F***ed Up News. Police near Amsterdam had an easy time of zeroing in on a suspected marijuana grow house. It is the only one on the block whose roof is clear of snow, reports the Telegraph. Inside the home in Harlem, cops found the expected heat lamps and pot plants. The trick worked so well that the police tweeted out a photo of the telltale roof and asked residents to report any more they see. It is just one of several similar busts, including one in Amersfoort this week that yielded 500 cannabis plants. A woman in Deer Park, Texas has been banned from her local Walmart after allegedly headbutting a tax worker during a disagreement. The incident happened Saturday night when Jessica Albitz got into an argument with Alice Keener, a tax worker at Jackson Hewitt branch located inside the Walmart. According to ClickToHouston.com, the two had a verbal altercation that climaxed with Albitz allegedly shoving her head into Keener's chin. Albitz told KTRK that the spat started on Friday when she and her husband went to file her taxes at the Jackson Hewitt branch. Keener was clocking in while another employee was doing Albitz's taxes. She came in a bad mood, so she took it out on us, Albitz told the KTRK. She was very rude to us. Although Albitz and her husband left without incident, things became heated when she ran into Keener the next day while shopping at Walmart. That's when Albitz alleges that Keener mumbled a profanity at her. I turned around and said, "Excuse me?" Albitz said, according to ABC13.com. Did I say something back? She came out of her cubicle and followed me to the entrance. A man named Mitchell Simpson captured the altercation on video. Before the argument turned violent, Keener was heard saying, "Take your poor ass out of the store. Your mama is a bitch." Winter Storm Octavia is bringing the first heavy snowfall of the season to many cities from the plains and the Ozarks to the Ohio Valley and parts of the east into Tuesday. It would also threaten some areas with a stripe of accumulating sleet and freezing rain. Octavia has already blanketed parts of the swath from Missouri to Kentucky with over 6 inches of snow. A mix of sleet and freezing rain has already slickened roads and triggered power outages in Arkansas and Tennessee. By the time it's done, Octavia will extend its snowy and icy tentacles across the Appalachians and into parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And guess who? New England! Snow, sleet, and freezing rain will make travel difficult, and winter storm warnings have already been posted for almost 46 million people. Rain and some thunderstorms are also possible on the warm side of Octavia near the Gulf Coast. And now time for Nick's Sports Corner. In Siberia, okay, I'm just kidding. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, Green Bay Packers head coach Mike McCarthy, who has called the offensive plays since he was hired in 2006, has handed those duties to Tom Clements, who has been promoted to assistant coach. By giving up play calling duties, McCarthy is putting himself in a position to have a greater impact in all aspects of the Packers game. Clements has been with McCarthy since he came to Green Bay. He spent 6 seasons as quarterback coach and the last 3 as offensive coordinator. This is the time to do it, McCarthy said Thursday. I think our staff's ready. I think it's an opportunity for our guys to grow, and it is an opportunity for them to make an impact. I feel we'll be better offensively from that. I know I have a lot more to offer to our football team. We're going to get that. It is the biggest change McCarthy has made to his offensive staff during his tenure, and the biggest move he's made since he fired defensive coordinator Bob Sanders and hired Dom Capers in 2009. Well, that's all the time we have on the show. So listen next time on The Nick DeLeon Show.